Dingus Creations.
What a crazy two and crazy hey!
Crazy family tree. A crazy family tree. The stories I could tell you about my crazy family and me. My crazy family and me. My crazy family tree.
What's up, fam? You're listening to the podcast where we tell you your stories, and my dog is digging around in papers. And who am I? I'm Lotta Hultman, and who is sitting here next in the front of my face?
It's me.
It's me, Mario. Say it again, because I said Mario over your name.
Okay, it's me, Kiki.
Yes, it is.
Cuckoo.
The polka dot
On a
beauty.
good day, it's cuckoo.
Oh, child, are you cuckoo today, Kiki?
I am a cuckoo Kiki today.
A cuckoo keekster, and the dog needs to stop doing that. Whatever.
I see fire in your eyes. No. She's laying down.
That sounds like the beginning of a song.
Yeah, you
Something
know what
80s.
I thought? Yeah. I can see it in your eyes. Right? Is that the one?
This must be our last goodbye. I'm so... No? I can
No.
see it in your eyes. This must be our... No?
I can see it in your eyes. I can see it in your
Oh,
smile.
that's... Oh, it sounds very...
You're
similar.
all I ever wanted, and my arms are open wide.
That's hello, va?
Hello, is it me you're looking for?
Hello, it's me. Right?
You're so good at singing.
Oh, what's her name? Am I...
Adele.
Adele, that's her name. Whew.
All right, we're starting off strong today.
Yes, singy-songy as always.
What are we doing today, Lotta?
Today we are listening to stories as always.
What kind of stories?
Well, today I have two stories, and one of these two are a very romantic one.
Oh, I love romance.
It's like,
Love is in the air.
I mean, the story is called Stop It. It's not the name of the story, but the name of the story is just like the movies. So I mean...
Oh, my bejeebus.
You're going to get weak in the knees, guys.
It's a good thing I'm sitting on my tiny little high chair.
Yes, you will probably fall off it because of all the slippery it will be. Slippery, get it? I'm so dirty. You didn't get it. She still doesn't get it.
No.
Why would it get slippery if I tell you a sexy, beautiful story?
Oh.
Okay, there you go.
Well, I'm in that part of my cycle where it's slippery anyways.
Oh, yeah, it's slippery all of the days. We're in the same cycle, so I know what you mean,
You're
girl.
the alpha girl. We already talked about that.
Alpha girl. Yeah. So, what do you have?
Well, I have two birthing stories.
Oh, I love birthing stories.
Well, one is not what you think, but yeah.
Oh, no. One is not what I think.
Don't look at my papers.
Okay, I won't look at your papers.
So something has happened in my life.
Tell me.
Okay. So I found my box,
Oh, yes.
my memory box.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
And I'm thinking that we're going to have a segment today
Ooh.
called journaling.
You have to make it jingle. A jingle journal jingle.
Jingle doll. Yeah.
Jingle journal jingle. Jingle journal Joe.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. There we have it.
that.
Yeah, we'll use that. You'll hear that again today.
Jingle journal jingle. No, what did you say?
Yeah, jingle journal jingle. Jingle journal Joe. Yeah.
Here is Journal Joe.
Journal Joe. Who is Joe? No one knows.
Nobody
but
knows.
it's here.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, doesn't only have to be my journal entries. If
I
other
have,
people have
yeah,
journal
some
entries that they would like to provide us with,
Yes.
please do.
Cringy ones.
Oh my God.
You mean the cringe that is in those books?
So it was lovely.
Yeah.
Finding I knew where my box was. It's not like, oh, there you are. I knew where it was,
Yeah.
but I was feeling that it's time.
It's time to open the
The time
box.
has come again to
What's
open
in
the
the
box.
box?
So many things in the box. I opened the box and it was just hundreds of photographs.
And there was a fashion magazine called Macarena Magazine. Or
Yeah, you know it. My
Yeah.
sister and I made magazines when we were younger.
Macarena
And Scoop.
Magazine. Oh,
Maybe-
Scoop?
Maybe
That's a good one.
Maybe we should post the videos that I made.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
yeah, so that was fun.
Fun times.
Fun times. And then I think also I watched whoa.
Okay, rewind.
Doesn't sound any different from how I'm talking right now.
Exactly, might.
I have now finished watching the third season of Heartstoppers.
Okay.
And if you have not watched Heartstoppers, please do. It's
Not watched
a lovely series.
Wait, is that the one with the two gay guys? Yes.
Have you seen all 3?
No, I've only seen 1.5. Oh my god! I know.
You have to watch all of them.
We have to tell you, it's on Netflix. We can tell them that. It's about...
It's based off books.
And it's also a youth coming of age series.
It's beautiful. It is beautiful.
And the thing is, it is a happy pill.
Yeah.
At least the first season was.
Yeah, I mean,
I've
they have the things that they struggle with at their age, but there is no bigger dramas.
No, and you need that sometimes.
Yeah. So that made me want to look in my box.
Yeah.
So I got my box, I opened it up, all these things just fell out, and I organized them. And I realized that people really liked me.
Yeah.
And
still do.
And that's not what I thought.
Yeah.
And that's sad.
That is sad.
Isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I had so many friends and people. When I moved away for a year to America, I got so many letters from friends, because that's how we corresponded.
It was in the olden days, in the 1900s. Yes, in the 1900s, late 1900s, must say.
No, I think it was early 2000s, actually.
Actually,
it was the late 2000s. No, not the late 2000s. What is that?
You are very early in the late 2000s because we're only in the beginning. The middle, I would know.
All right.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So that was fun. We'll post the video of me opening my box.
We always promise them things.
You don't get to see me open the box. You get to see the box, and then you get to see all this shit in the box.
Every time you say, I found my box and stuff, I think about your hoo-ha. I don't think about your hoo-ha, but I think about it like that.
That's very nice that you think about my hoo-ha.
Yes, I worry about her. Are you okay?
She's good. She's good. She's good, doing good.
Yeah, it's a long time I've heard from her. No, I don't know. Don't
say about my hoo-ha.
No, I love her. I know everything I say is wrong. Oh my god. That's right. You put on some beep beep over the things I'm saying right now. Some prazzle dazzle.
Yeah. So that's what happened to me.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much everything that is, except that my eldest, it turns 10 today.
That is kind of cool, dude.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. I thought you were going to sing. So I was like, and then I was like, happy birthday.
One more time.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I don't know what I'm doing to you too. Yeah. To the little boy. Hey. Oh. Hey. Hooray. I like that. He will never hear this.
No.
Until he is like, I don't know, maybe he'll like, oh, my mom had some kind of podcast or has a podcast.
Maybe we're like super famous.
We're going to go on for 10 years more at least.
Yeah.
Because I was out before we start with our first, because we have to get this going because we have long ones.
Yes.
Don't say sorry. Huh. Jesus, woman. I love you talkity talks. But what I was going to say was, I was actually out on town yesterday because I had to go get my... it's a long story. But I put out some flyers on 2 of our cafes here in town. And I also have some posters that I also put up on our Instagrams. And when I'm talking about Instagram, do you understand the new threads thing that comes up? I'm too old for that, I feel.
Some kind of chat?
It looks like the same... I thought like maybe I need to get it because maybe that's the place where people hang now. It looked like all the things you put out on Instagram, but it's on that place instead.
I don't get it.
I don't understand it, you know? Oh, that's just a side.
Don't ask me. I don't know.
No, I have no idea. It makes me confused and I feel old. And that was all I was going to say. Should I start with the first?
Whoa.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Didn't you start last week?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's your time to start.
It's my time.
It is my time. No, it's your time. I mean, I have to. I have to do this.
And I have to do this.
Let's do this.
Okay, I'm going to start with a little
Yeah.
story here. Mm-hmm. This story is called A Birth Story.
Oh, I love it. Mm-hmm.
This is my story.
Oh, your story.
Yes.
Oh,
Both are my stories today.
Nice. Okay, I'm ready.
Today, 10 years ago, I gave birth to my first son. It was everything but what I thought it would be. Before he was born, I called him Newbie, which today isn't such a cute nickname, but 2014, it was cute.
Yeah.
Let us start from the beginning.
It all depends on how you spell it, though.
Noobie.
Oh, I know one of those. Yes, that is cute. But if you spell it like Newbie, then it means like you're a new beginner at like a game and you suck at it. It was my dog who made that noise. Stop making noise. It's kind of cute though. Okay.
I had gone over 2 weeks from my son's birth date, which was supposed to be the 27th of September. But he was not in a hurry. And to this day, he always takes his time. And he did not get that from me. I had gone over exactly 2 weeks. My son's birth date was supposed to be the 27th of September. But he was in no hurry. So, like it is still today, he took his time. And he did not get that from me because I'm always stressed.
Yeah.
And taking his time coming out, that's not from me either because I am one of the 4% that are born on the exact due date.
That is very, very, very seldom that happens. Mm-hmm.
It's pretty, that I'm sitting here is pretty amazing.
She's magical. So come on,
I'm
everybody.
like a unicorn. Anyways, for those that have gone over the due date when pregnant, you might recognize the feeling that every day that passes after that feels like a year. I was tired, fed up, and big. That morning, I got out of bed around 7, and as I stood up and I felt, That morning, I got out of bed around 7, and as I stood up, I felt this warm liquid running down the inside of my legs. I thought that I had peed myself. No, the water broke. Me, my husband, and my mother got our things together and headed to the hospital. We arrived about 8 o'clock. No one put me in a wheelchair like
Was that
they did.
PM?
AM.
AM, okay. Yeah, you said, yes. Sorry.
No worries. I'm sorry, I should have been more clear. This is AM we're talking. No one put me in a wheelchair like they do in the movies. I was 4 centimeters dilated, and I stayed 4 centimeters dilated for the rest of my life. No, not the rest of my life, but for what felt like 100 years. I guess that the story isn't that exciting in between when I got SWI, sterile water injections, the worst thing ever, my mother's garlic breath, and when they tried to help my body create contractions because my body just stopped. That made me have labor pains, but nothing was actually happening with my hoo-ha. After 9 hours of fake contractions and waiting, the medical staff at the maternity ward saw that my son's heart rate was going down and he seemed stressed. I became worried. They gave me 2 options. Either we take a break and start from 0 in a few hours, or have an emergency cesarean section. My gut feeling said, take him out. Take him out now. An hour later, I was prepped and on the operating table. My husband was by my side and a lovely nurse that was keeping an eye on me. His name was Benny. My husband told me afterwards that I was being pulled violently and my whole body was swinging from side to side. I was awake, but I don't remember a whole lot. I just remember shaking. Like my body was reacting strongly to what was going on. They got the baby boy out, but there was no scream. Just people rushing into another room, taking my husband with them. I was lying there getting sewn together, talking up a storm with Benny. While this was happening, there was drama happening in the other room. Newbie was not breathing. He was lifeless, bluish purplish, and just not there. My husband saw everything. The panicked staff not getting the revival table to work. Luckily, they figured out the problem fast enough so Newbie could get his pulse back. Back to the OR, I was lying there waiting to meet my son for the first time. Then suddenly my husband turned up, held out our son in front of me, and I just laughed. What the hell? My son was super blonde, pale, and had blue eyes. So people that don't know what I look like, that's the opposite of me.
Yeah.
My genes, where were they?
Yeah, and I am who was a very blonde child as a child, and have a child with her brother. I got a brown-eyed, dark-haired, much hair on her head daughter. So I guess that you thought that I would get something like that.
Yeah, I
you know?
thought, yeah, it would look like your daughter. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I said, "Is this my baby?" The answer was, of course, yes. Then I said, "Your name isn't Reuben."
No.
He was not a Reuben. We came up to the ward again, and my mom had been so worried because it had taken such a long time, and that is when I started to shake so much that I couldn't hold my baby. The nurse took some blood work to see what was wrong, and then they saw that my belly was getting bigger.
No.
My belly was filling up with blood.
Oh, I forgot
My
this.
uterus did not contract as it was supposed to do. They had to push out all of the blood. They had to push out all of the blood, and they had to do it by pressing on my newly operated stomach.
Oh, no.
The pain was surreal. I almost passed out and saw my dead grandmother.
Oh, my God.
I remember the sound of the blood hitting the floor. My husband by my side and my mother holding my newborn son. After they had gotten all the blood out of my body, they gave me medicine to help my uterus contract. Once stabilized, I could hold my son and give him food. Newbie was born at 5:59 p.m., the 11th of October, 2024, 50 centimeters long, and 3,800 grams. We stayed at the hospital for 3 days before we came home. Once at home, we settled into our new family constellation. My mom stayed with us for a week. I thought that the birth of my son would be like they had talked about in parent class. You come in, get some drugs, give birth, cry, feel overwhelmed with love, and then go home after 6 hours. Instead, I came in, waited, pain, waited, pain, waited, and so on. I underwent surgery, almost died, and then had to spend 3 days at the hospitals, and then never really felt that overwhelming feeling of meeting my son for the first time. It took a while for me to bond with Newbie, but when the bond was there, it became unbreakable. He is a wonderful kid with a beautiful personality, and I'm so happy and thankful that he was born on this day 10 years ago.
And that is a thing that all mothers to be should know, is that no birth is like the other.
No.
Nope. Because you have this preconceived thought about how it is going to be. I had it too. And I must say, with my first, it was... And that's also for your second time mothers. Don't think it's going to be like the first time you gave birth.
No.
No. You will hear
Totally
about those
different.
sometime. Yeah.
Totally different.
But I think all of us came home with many things that were not like we thought it was going to be. For sure.
For sure.
And you had a very dramatic one.
Yes.
It was very dramatic. And I remember the picture that was sent to us and of your boy. And I was also like laughing because he was almost like a reddish blonde and so pale. And it was like, what in the what?
Is that the picture when he looks so mad?
Yeah, he looks like a grumpy, chubby little chub.
But he isn't a grubby chub.
Oh, he's so cute. Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah,
That's a story.
That
so
is a
send
story.
us your birth stories.
Yeah, because we have a lot of things to hear there. Hurdy. Because I love birthing stories because they. I think I loved them even before I got kids too, because then it was like, ooh, horror show like that, you know. But also, I love them even more after I give birth, because just to see how extremely different everyone has, how their birthing scenario is like.
I know a couple of fun ones that I hope that I have friends that would want to share because they're hilarious.
Yes, I know. Especially one of them I'm thinking about is a very funny one.
Yeah.
I loved it, and I love your son.
You've heard it before.
I've heard it before, but I forgot that you got the bleedings, and your tummy fills up and it gets bigger. Oh my God, that's so yucky and
They're
terrifying.
Like this. It's not supposed to look like this.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Because I looked I mean, your belly is still swollen.
Yeah,
it doesn't
is.
go down right away, but it doesn't look like you're still that pregnant.
No.
And what happened was because my uterus didn't contract itself, it was just pouring in blood.
Oh my God.
Like open, vad heter det? Ventiler.
Yeah, vents, like some,
Just
pipes just slurping out. Ooh, terrible. I remember the first time when I gave birth to my first child, how that shocked me too, because I'd never been around kids that much, or parents at all, because except my own, but I mean newly become parents, because I didn't have friends who had kids, so I've only seen the Hollywood thing, and then they're like plop out a baby, and then they're normal looking in the sense with the big bunny ears, normal looking. So I remember when I plopped her out and I was gonna go to the bathroom for the first time, and they had this, I don't know why, a super big mirror in
those huge ones.
Why?
Wall to wall.
I could see my whole freaking body. Anyways, and I was in those like giving birth panties that are with like this diaper like menstrual pad thing. It's like net underpants.
Yeah.
They're like whatever. And I saw my belly just hang there. It just hanged. And I remember I just started crying. I was like, is this me now? Is it gonna hang like that? It was like an empty bag just hanging. Down to my knees, it felt like. So that's also a thing I can send. But it contracted. It went back. It did what it did, not for the other ones.
Your uterus did what it was supposed to do.
It did. Yes, it did.
Once again, I have lazy organs inside
It's
of
like,
me.
I'm just going to chill here for a while.
You know?
I don't need to contract.
You know.
So
tiresome.
So wonderful. I love that.
Send us your stories.
Send us your stories if you want to keep us going, girl and boy, and everything in between. Doody-doody-da. I'm going to read you a story that I haven't read through before
Oh, it's super long.
It's kind of long.
Okay, cool.
And it is sent in by the Saint of Lost Causes.
That's my mom.
No, it's not your mom.
It's not my mom?
No, it's not your mom.
That's her blog name.
Well, it's not your mom. I promise you. Cross my heart.
Hope to die.
I have not gotten this from your mom. Okay. The basement stairs. You ready?
Wait.
What are you trying to do? What are you doing now?
Okay, nothing.
Okay. Our house. Oh my God, she's laughing. You don't know anything. You don't know enough of anything. Our house is an old house, and I am the third generation of my family to live in it. and my children are the fourth. This house has seen so much of my family's history. Birth, christenings, confirmations, birthdays, different members of our extended family moving in and out, my grandmother's many different decor changes. It has also seen some of my family's deaths. Both of my grandparents died in this house, in accordance with their wishes. It might sound as I paint this image like I live in a Gothic mansion or a Victorian villa.
I love it. Don't take the picture.
But our house...
picture away from me.
She's going to take it away from you.
Oh, no.
But our house is quite small, unremarkable, ordinary, and in need of everyday repairs. It is located on a dead-end street in a rundown, beat-up neighborhood in an American city. I often dream of moving somewhere quieter and prettier with more space, but it was the first and only house my grandparents owned. In the 1950s, the neighborhood was one my grandfather was proud to be able to have his family live in. I think the state of the area now would make him sad. This house feels protected by my grandparents' spirits and well wishes for our children. My husband and I take pride in being the current custodians of this house. It has given us a place to call home in a housing market where we might not otherwise be able to afford to own our own house. This story, or one of many stories actually, are about the basement stairs to this house. The house is a...
child, basement stairs. Don't get me started.
Oh, you have basement stair stories, girlfriend. You told us on our other podcast that are blooming for some reason. Our other podcast is blooming.
Oh, fun.
So we're going to have to start
it's like
getting
artists
this blooming.
when they die, they bloom.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. We're going to bloom before our dying days. Anyways. The house is 2 levels with a basement, and the house was originally meant to be 2 apartments. So there is a door closing off the downstairs part that leads to the stairs that go up to the 2nd floor, and the door down to the basement.
Oh. I would like to say it's a classic American house.
It's classic.
Because in the most American houses that I've been in, they kind of look the same.
It's apartment building-ish-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be able to own it, I guess. I don't know, man. I don't know anything about anything. I remember always being warned about the basement stairs as a child. They are steep. Many family members have taken a tumble down them. Both me and my children have fallen down those stairs. Oh my God. My youngest, and now you laugh.
Sorry.
You laugh.
Okay.
My youngest had to be taken to the emergency room when he fell down these stairs. And
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you should be sorry. No. And hit his head on the concrete floor at the bottom. Not to go into too many details, but my grandfather had an accident on those stairs, which led to a head injury from which he eventually passed. But since then, perhaps it is in my imagination, you can feel a presence on those stairs, like you might see a figure in the corner of your eye, but if it was there, it's gone by the time you turn your head to look. This is not really a scary or sad story, but the background story to it is necessary, I think. This starts when I was pregnant with my firstborn child. I am a scaredy cat.
Oh my God, pregnant.
Pregnanties! Very scared of ghosts or anything supernatural, so I steer clear of all scary movies, etc. But I listen to SVR Creepypod. That day I had recently come home from work, and for that day I was going to be home alone. So I laid myself down on the couch listening to Creepypodden, it's a Swedish podcast, on my phone. Being pregnant and tired, I fell asleep, and I don't remember what the story playing on the pod was about, but I woke up suddenly because I heard a knock. I was groggy and half asleep, and my pregnancy brain at the time was extreme. If you know, you know. But I was sure I was hearing knocking. I was home alone, so I went to check the front door, but no one was there. And then I hear the knocking sound again. It's coming from the direction of the kitchen, which also leads to the back door and the basement door. And as you recall, we have a door that closes off this area from the downstairs where I have been sleeping. So I tiptoe slowly to the door. I think it must have been the influence of scary listening I had been doing while falling asleep, because I was sure the knocking was not coming from the back door but the basement door. Slowly opening the connecting door and peeking through it like I'm Johnny from The Shining, I jump as I once again hear a knock, but this time I realize all I am actually hearing is the ice machine in the freezer in the kitchen. But was it that all along? Just my tired, half-dreaming mind turning this clunking sound into a sinister knock? Maybe, but it still scares me when I think about it. Fast forward 2 years, and I'm carrying my toddler son down to the basement to get something. When he points to
Carrying a child on those steep stairs?
Yes. Maybe she was home alone. She needed to do that. Can't leave a 2-year-old home alone. Upstairs alone. 2-year-old. I don't know. But she was carrying him.
Risky.
When he points to the slight overhang of the wall over the stairs, and then points to his own head and says, "Ow." He does this 2 or 3 times. Points to the stairs and then his head repeating, "Ow, ow." I think to myself, he is seeing the ghost of my grandfather. My son is psychic and I can feel the head injury that happened to him. I immediately decide I won't tell my husband. He is even more scared of the supernatural things than I am. I think I held out for about 2 days before I burst out, "I can see ghosts!" to my husband over dinner. And I told him what had happened on the basement stairs and what our son had said. He reacted a lot calmer than I imagined. And then he started laughing. Apparently, he had been carrying our son down the stairs the day before and hit our son's head on the overhang. So my son had not had a ghostly encounter. He was just telling me that Daddy had bonked his head on the stairs. Again, just a coincidence, which has also made for a funny story to tell. But now we flash forward again to another year or so, and I had lost my wedding ring. It had seemingly just slipped off my finger one day, and I could not find it anywhere. I searched everywhere I could think of. I don't remember how long it was missing, but at least a few weeks. Long enough that I was not sure I would ever find it again. So I was getting ready to leave for a trip on my own without my family, and I remember really wishing I had my wedding ring for the trip. It feels silly saying it, but I felt naked without it, and like I would be missing a connection with my husband. So I was about to leave for my trip when I ran down the basement to grab some last-minute item I had forgotten. And on my way back up to the stairs, right in the middle of the steps, sparkling in the light, was my wedding ring. How had it gotten there? How had I missed it all these weeks? I should have stepped on it or kicked it down the stairs. Countless times I've been up and down them. But now it had just magically appeared right there in the middle of them. I was so happy I slipped it back on my fingers and whispered, "Thank you, Grandpa." Grandpapa! Lots of little stories that don't really add up to much, but I would like to think it shows that a branch of my family tree is looking after me. Thank you for a fun show and a place to share stories that connect us all. Peace and love, the Saint of Lost Causes.
Way!
Macarena! Oh, I love that.
I love that for us.
Beautiful language, speaking and writing.
That was beautiful written.
Very beautiful.
My story was not great.
Yeah.
It was not great.
Why do you sell yourself short? I've heard your poetry.
Don't get me started.
The thing is, she came in with she talked about her box. She came in with a red little notebook, very tattered, very worn, a journal. And
a journal? Not a urinal.
Journal.
You said
a urinal. No, I didn't say urinal. A journal. And she has read me some poetry from it. It's very deep and special.
1996.
Can you guess who sent in the story?
I know who sent in the story.
You know who sent in the story because this story in sender wanted me to she actually did what we told the last time. I want Lotta to read this
Oh, fun.
for Kiki to react to
Oh.
because I want to see if she knows if it's me because this is actually your sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, are you ready? You're sitting here.
You saw me when I was looking at you when you were reading.
Yeah, I
Didn't
saw.
you see my look?
You had many looks.
Licks.
Licks. You have many licks. She was licking the mic, so I will have to mute that part because it was very nasty.
I got so excited I just licked everything.
So nasty. Are you already? But we
No.
haven't. Have we talked?
No.
You're okay.
Oh,
You're
we're
gonna.
going to talk about this, yes.
Yes, we are. I loved it, and I
Yes.
really think that you have a guardian angel in your grandpa.
A gardening angel?
Gardening angel. He is taking care.
He's hoeing the...
Oh my God, you're gonna have carrots all winter long because he's been gardening so hard. No, but you have a now I can say a guardian angel because I mean I think he's happy that his house is still in the family. I mean that must be it. I mean he must feel proud. He must feel special, you know? He got a house. Wasn't that kind of special for him? He got a house for his family.
You know the story?
I know I don't.
My mother,
Yeah.
mother's family, my grandma and my grandpa, they came from different parts of America, but they're both Mexican. And then they met somehow. I don't really know how that story went, but they met. And then they moved up to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And it was and is still quite hard for Mexicans in America. So they rented the upstairs of this house. And they were a family of
Many.
8.
Oh my God.
And that apartment was tiny.
Yeah.
And they only had a bathroom, a small bathroom. What do you call those? You call them something when it's just a toilet and a sink.
Yeah, that is not a bathroom. That is just a toilet.
You just
Yeah.
back it up.
Yeah, you back
sit
it
down.
up, back it up. Yeah.
And the a bathtub and shower was downstairs in the basement.
Okay.
So it was a 2 family home before. So it was there were apartments. And then at one point my grandfather paid off. I don't know if the owners lived downstairs, but with every rent that he paid, it went towards buying the house.
Oh, that's nice.
If I remember it correctly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, he worked hard and to take care of his family and to also give them a home.
Yeah.
So
And it's still
at
in
some
the family.
point, I don't know when it was, what year it was, but then they owned the whole house.
Yeah.
So that big family could spread out a little bit.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
It is
I
beautiful.
loved it.
And it horrible the way my grandfather passed.
Yeah, because he was a vibrant person, that your grandfather. I met him at your wedding. He was a lovely old man. Old man.
Pablo.
It was
Shout out to Pablo.
And that was his, oh my God, Pablo.
Was that you or me?
No, it was Pablo.
Oh.
Well, you could do something a little less scrammly.
Yeah.
Scrammly.
Lotta doesn't like a lot of noise
No.
when she does the pad.
My dog has been barking non-stop since we started this podcast. So
This is true.
background, no, blah, blah.
It was
Bah.
beautifully written.
It really was. Thank you
And
so
my
much.
sister says she can't write. That's bullcaca.
She is lying to us all.
Maybe she is a better writer than me. Who knows? Can she write poetry?
Probably.
Who knows?
Oh, we're so good at nothing. Always.
Cue the journaling
Oh, yeah.
song.
Okay, I will cut it in here. Jingle, journal, jingle. Jingle, journal, Joe.
Okay. This is from a journal, and it's like the end of a...
An era?
no, it's the end of a... What do you call it? An entry.
Yeah.
That I wrote the 14th of December, 1996.
Yes.
P.S. I don't know if I love someone. I was 13.
Yeah.
But then the next page says, "No, I know how I love. I love Lillen.
No, I know.
No, I
How I
know
love-
how I love
Yes.
Lillen."
So beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank
Kiki,
you.
13 years old.
Yes.
Cue it.
Cue it. I'm cueing it. Jingle journal, jingle, jingle journal, Joe. Yeah, that was beautiful. She was a poet. She is a poet. But I mean, you could already
I was
then see.
really bad speller.
Well, it's not easy to spell.
Now, I... No, I now.
No, I know.
How I love.
Yes. No, I know. How I love. I think it's beautiful. Maybe that's not what you meant, but I think it's more interesting than
That's a
what
shirt,
you.
man.
Yes. No, I know. How I love. That's a shirt that you find like in a marketplace in like an Asian country, you know, where they try. Okay.
Okay, my last story is called Ralph.
Rough, frickin' rough. Okay.
This is not the real name of the person I'm writing about.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I have been thinking about what story to share next. The hard thing is that I have such a hard time remembering what has happened in my life. Sometimes fragments appear and I get reminded, but I rarely remember a whole story. I have understood that it's normal that this happens when you have been under stress and under constant changes for longer periods of time in life. Anywho. But let's see if I can somehow birth a story for y'all.
Oh.
As a baby, I was described as happy. As a kid, I loved making people laugh. As a classmate, I was seen as a clown. As a friend, I was the funny one. As a girlfriend, I didn't have a boyfriend until I was 17, and by that time, happy, funny clown jokester had become a part of my personality. But it wasn't like I didn't want a boyfriend before I was 17. But like I said, I was the funny one, and I guess the listener/talker, never the girlfriend. The story I'm going to tell you is short and sweet. I was in 6th grade, and I was very smitten with a friend that was a boy. Let's call him Ralph.
Rick and Ralph.
He was kind and just lovely. He was a great friend, and I didn't even dare to think that I could be anything else but the funny girl to him. By some kind of cosmic miracle, it was like my spirit guides thought, let's see how she will handle this. I got seated next to him in class. Let me tell you, I did not handle it at all.
Oh.
Important to the story is that I was also the could you ask if she would like to be my boy/girlfriend person. You know that person?
Yeah, I know that
people
person.
sent.
Yeah.
Can you ask him if he wants to be my boyfriend? I had no boundaries. I'm like, okay,
I can do that.
like
for
me.
you. Yeah.
Anywho, I was living my best 6th grade life next to Ralph. We talked way too much, laughed even more, and he helped me with schoolwork. Then one day, Stephanie, the pretty one, the smart one, the one that was all the things that I wasn't, came up to me and asked me if I could ask Ralph if he liked anyone. In my head, I screamed at her, "Let me have Ralph for myself for just 1 second!"
Let me have him, for God's sake.
But what came out of my mouth was, "Yes, of course, I can do that." Later that day, we were sitting in the classroom, and I think the whole class had just gotten a scolding for talking too much, so it was very quiet in 6B. So I had to figure out a way to ask Ralph if he liked anyone. I took a pencil and wrote on his desk, "Do you like anyone?" He read and he answered, Y-O-U.
Y-O-U.
You.
Y-O-U.
I stared at what he wrote. My head and my body was freaking the fuck out.
Oh.
Does he like me?
Or like
How
me?
is that possible? I'm not someone that guys like. It was like I had an outer body experience when I whispered to him that it wasn't about me. I was asking about him. And he said, "You." And looked at me, and I just waved it off and said that he didn't understand what I was saying and got back to my workbook.
Oh, Kiki.
Recess.
Oh, Kiki, yeah.
Recess came around, and Stephanie was waiting for me with an answer. I lied to her and said that he didn't like anyone. And instead of letting it go, she said, "Could you ask if he wants to be my boyfriend?" Once again, I was screaming on the inside, "Come on, Steph, get the hint. He
Yeah.
doesn't want to be your boyfriend." But instead, my mouth said, "Yes, of course, I can do that." So I found Ralph and I called him over and he jogged all manly to where I was standing.
Of course he was.
He smiled at me and asked me what was up. And
As manly as a 12-year-old
You
boy
know
can
it.
run.
And I melted and I pulled myself together and said, "Steph would like to know if you would like to be her boyfriend." He just stared at me with confusion on his
Yeah.
face. I stared back with big, hoping eyes that he would say no, but knowing Ralph, he would say yes because he didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. After what felt like an eternity, he shrugged his shoulders and said, "Sure," and walked away. As he turned around and walked away, I dramatically said to myself, "I will forever be alone." The funny thing is that I would do this again 2 years later, and that time I missed out on a trip to Italy with Ralph and his fam. Moral of the story is that it is never too early to put down boundaries.
No.
And there will always be a Stephanie that steals a Ralph, so don't be stupid.
No.
When a person answers YOU to the question, "Do you like anyone?" take him or her under your arm and run towards the 6th grade sunset,
Yes.
which lasts for about a week or two. But for a 12-year-old, it is forever.
Word up. That was a beautiful one. Keekster. It was like New Girl. Have you? It's a TV show. It's a
Love
comedy
it.
show that we all love. That everyone who's watched it loves it.
You can stream it on Disney.
Yes, and the main girl is called Jess, and sometimes you get some throwbacks to her childhood.
Yeah.
And then there was this kid. Who are you gonna take to the ball or something? I don't remember. And he tries to say Jess because like her name is Jess.
Yes, and he wasn't English speaking.
No, so he was like. Yes, I can ask someone for it.
You want me to give this to Cece? Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, that's right. Yes. Okay, I'll give it to her. No, Jess.
Oh.
Yeah, you were like her. Yeah. You were like Jess, a new girl. Oh my God, Keeksters! You could have had a Ralph for a week.
You know it.
What about what was that Italy trip that you talked about?
Oh my God, that's another story.
Oh, you got to tell us sometime, because you got to tell us sometime.
Yep.
Oh, child.
But it was, the same thing happened again. I helped him.
Did he say, "Are you kidding?" to you when you're like, was that what he said? Like, "Are you kidding?" When you asked if Stephanie could be, I think so.
Did I say that?
I don't know. He was just like looking at you like, "Are you kidding?"
Yeah, he was looking
Yeah,
at me.
yeah. Like,
Are you kidding?
what is going on here, girlfriend?
Didn't I just write you?
No. Okay. You
I
want
wonder
to?
what Ralph is doing today.
Yeah. What is Ralph doing
What if
today?
he listens to this pod?
What if he doesn't understand that he's Ralph?
Yeah, what if he is still super in love with me?
Probably. I would not doubt it.
I don't know if he ever was in love with me. But let's just pretend.
Well, he wrote you, for God's sake.
He was 12.
I don't know if he ever was in it. Well, he wrote it down on the freaking piece of paper, or was it right on the desk where you're this kind of, ooh, you naughty girl.
Yes, we're naughty.
Writing on the inventory, or what's it called?
Inventory.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know anything. The only thing I know is that we have a long one.
Oh.
So hold on to your horses.
Can I just do this so I don't
And
have
Ralph, if you're out there, I think
Maybe he doesn't remember it the same way. That's the fun part.
I think you took I think the easy way out, or
we were two people pleasers.
Yeah, but the thing is, Ralph, you could have just said, "But hey, I want you. Don't you want to be my girlfriend?" Slow kiss in the
Lotta,
sunset.
don't even start with me.
Right?
Don't even start with me.
Why didn't he do that? Oh, well
Well,
he did what
I'm
he
not
did.
alone forever.
And that's how you sort out the bad ones for the good ones. That's what he should have said. 12-year-old Ralphie
Stephanie.
Ralph is not a name that we often hear. No.
That's why I chose it.
I like it. I
Thank
like
you.
it. This one is called Just Like the Movies.
Oh my God, it's the love story. I forgot.
This is the loveliest of love stories.
Okay, go.
So this was back in 2000.
Who wrote it?
I think. Well, let's see. It's not me. It's not me. She said I could pick if I wanted her to be anonymous or if I should say her name.
Okay.
So yeah, I will say her name. It's
It's a her.
Joanna. It's a beautiful Joanna who we love so much.
Okay.
And I just tell people, be more like Joanna. We need more Joannas in our life because, come on. Send in stories. It's not that hard. Joanna does it and she's wonderful at it. You can do it too. Okay. Just like the movies. This was back in 2012 when you got married and when I met my husband. I just want to add that for the people.
yes.
Kiki got married that year.
What? Never
what?
alone. Never alone again.
12 years ago. Okay.
12 years ago.
Yeah. 12 years ago. It's 2024 now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, can't count.
This was back in 2012 when I was 28 and I was living in Stockholm City. I had been single for about 2 years, and to be single in a capital city is not all that fun.
Really?
Because you feel like you have all the possibilities to find love, and when you don't do that, you feel pretty shitty about yourself.
Oh, I see.
I had actually started dating a guy that I was pretty in love with, and we hung out on and off. He used to say that it was so much fun hanging out with me, but I wanted more than fun.
He was a douchebag.
Yeah, and I was just feeling crappy and sad. So me and my sister, who at the time had a boyfriend, decided we were going to do something fun for ourselves.
Fun.
So we found a trip to Paris, where I've never been before, even though I studied French for a couple of years, and I loved the language and the culture. I just loved France, even though I'd never been. So we went for it. We had booked a stay at a hostel in the middle of Paris, and we found some small vintage boutiques, and we went to Montmartre, and we bought macarons. Looked at the Eiffel Towers.
Say that again.
Macarons.
Oh.
Looked at the Eiffel Towers and visited the Notre Dame and just did all the touristy things that people do when going to France. We had the greatest of times. The first night we decided to go out. We were young. My sister was 26 at the time and I was, as I mentioned, 28. We got settled in the hotel room and just decided to see where the night would take us. We got out in the Paris night and just started planlessly walking without any special destination in mind. And on a side street, we saw this cute little quaint bar not far from our hostel. It was a hip bar with cool music and cool people, and it was just a cool vibe and a lot of young people hanging out. We found a table, and my sister quickly noticed that the two male bartenders seemed interested in us, or at least she noticed their looks over to our table.
Wait, the sister had a boyfriend, right?
Yeah, but she saw those guys seems interested in us. One of them, a Middle Eastern looking guy, had his eyes on my blonde and Swedish looking sister, and the other one, a guy with African roots, had his eyes on me. Both of them kind of good looking. They approached us, and as we all know, the French is not very good at English language. But my French was actually okay, so we were able to talk a little bit there at our
You
table.
don't need to know each. You don't need
speak
to
the love language, the language of love when you're in Paris.
Yes, you don't need anything else than that.
Okay, I understood a lot of French, but they tried to speak English. And they offered us free drinks, and it was nice to have their attention. After about 2 hours, they asked us to stay till closing so we could hang out at another bar together. And of course, we took the opportunity. We didn't know much about the French nightlife, and the prospect of having two inhabitants showing us around was exhilarating. We got some more free drinks, and at closing time, around 11 p.m., we waited outside for the guys to come out and show us Paris. When the guys came out, we got into a cab. Oh la la.
Där blir man lycklig och glad.
Oh la la.
Okay, I'm done.
The only song I know is Oh Champs-Élysées. That's yeah, all right. When the guys came out, we got into a cab that took us into a real hip place, a real it club.
Oh, wow.
We stood in line for a long time, and we eventually got in. It was a 2-story place with loud music and people dancing all over. The guy who was into my sister did not hide his interest, and it was clear as day that he really fancied her. I didn't notice because of my low self-esteem that the other guy had his eyes on me as well.
Oh.
My sister saw it, of course. But I was just high on life and, to be honest, pretty drunk too. So I went out on the dance floor and started dancing. My sister stood and talked to the guys. And when I was dancing there, I just happened to look up, and to my right, I see this gorgeous, and I mean gorgeous, French dude. Our eyes met, and I immediately got so nervous, I was almost in shock of his beauty. Imagine this young French Depp. Imagine this French Johnny Depp looking guy with a mustache, a Benson Boone type. You know, the guy that makes that song. You're beautiful, things that I got. Oh, stay. No? Oh, well, it's a TikTok thing. I don't even have TikTok, but I know about stuff. I know cool.
Johnny
I'm
Depp.
hip. Yeah,
That's
we
my
know.
generation.
He is good looking too. But Benson Boone, yeah, he's a good looking guy. I mean, he's a little bit like a hipster looking guy, but I can see it with a mix with some Johnny Depp. I could see it. Drop dead gorgeous is all she says here. I'm not the gal who hit on people, so I continued dancing with him on my mind. And after a while, I felt a hand in mine. It was him. And he pulled me closer.
Wait, oh my God.
All right. Well, you're going to hear a lot.
Oh, no.
Oh, you're going to hear a lot.
Oh my God.
I was not believing what was happening. We were dancing. And I was just... It was just like I was in a dream. We danced for a while, and he introduced himself. And his name was Hippolyte. Hippolyte. And he said, do you want to come over to my place? And I just said yes. What could I have said other than yes? So I went to my sister and I got...
she's not a Kiki, that's for sure.
Yeah, I would have said no. So I went to my sister. So I went to my sister. And
Wait, you would have said no?
yeah, I would be too scared. I would be like, rape! That's what I would be doing. I know, like, what if I don't find my way? There's so many things I wouldn't have done it.
Take out your rape whistle.
Yeah. In the middle of the dance floor. And like waves.
And everybody would think
Yeah.
that you're doing like a rave party thing. You got your glow sticks.
With the little...
Everybody, yeah.
Yeah. I would just take up the pepper spray right in his eyeballs. No. In a different city? I don't know him. Oh, anyway, she did it.
Good for her.
Good. Would
I
you
would
have
be
done
like,
it?
oh,
Are you talking
did
to
you
me?
mean- did
Are you
you mean-
talking about the other girl? Were you supposed to take someone else's hand?
you know this is my hand.
Do you know that this hand is connected to my body and me, the person that is me?
You were thinking about my sister.
my sister.
You want my sister?
I get so warm.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. He took her hand. That's where we were. And he was
And she said yes.
Hippolyte.
That's not a great name.
That is a weird name. So I went to my sister.
Is there an H in the beginning?
Hippolyte.
But they don't pronounce H in French.
Hippolyte.
Oh.
Hippolyte. I went to my sister and I got my camera that she had been holding for me.
Oh my God, what's she gonna do?
It's a camera because you had like a real touristy camera to take real pictures. I mean, the camera phone was not that good.
Oh, if you have a picture of him, please send it to us.
Please send it in. Oh. I want to see that. Oh, send the pictures. Yes. Oh, I would love it. Okay. I went to my sister, got my camera that she's been holding for me, and I asked her if I could follow this French dude home. And she was A-okay with this. I mean, he was out of this world.
Good thing you weren't there.
And my sister
Good
was
thing
happy for me.
First,
I would have said,
no.
no.
Sister.
The sister. So she went back to the hostel to call her boyfriend. And I went my way with this beautiful stranger.
Oh my God, they don't have it. Oh.
I took the camera with me and I hopped into the taxi with Hippolyte. He got happy to see my camera because he was a hobby
What
photographer.
kind of happy?
Every kind of happy.
Oh
you
my
know
God.
it. As we got out of the taxi, I yelled, je t'aime, to the driver as we stepped out. And I remember Hippolyte saying like, we don't do that in France. You can't scream, I love you to strangers. And I was like, of course I can. because I was high on life and high on Paris. Hippolyte had a small place in the middle of Paris, and it was fun to see because they build their apartments a bit different from how we build them here in Sweden. He didn't have death traps, fresh hell, and he didn't have his own toilet, and it was a shared one with the other tenants. But he had his own shower in like a closet. It was foreign and exciting for me. A shower closet? I mean, come on. His apartment was just a small room with a tiny kitchen in this room. So we hung out, smoking and drinking red wine. It was like I was in a French movie and everything was just magical. He was my age with Greek-French roots. He had a part-time job at a restaurant and he was very interested in photography. He had big bookshelves with books written by and about the big philosophers. There were art on the walls and, of course, photographs. We had a magical evening with wine, smokes, and, of course, incredible sex.
Yes, please. Oh, my God.
Well, we have much more
See
to
what
go,
you missed
girl.
out on with your pepper spray and your rape whistle.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, I had been single for 2 years, and I had felt for such a long time like nothing ever happens to me. And then this happens. So I stayed the night, and he said he wanted to see me again. We exchanged
Naked.
numbers, and I did the famous walk of shame home to the hostel and my sister.
Shame.
Yay. And that day, me and my sister went out to explore Paris again. And I was so hungover. But he sent me a text message and asked me to come out with him again. I was hesitant. But my sister just looked at me and said, when in Paris, you know you have to do it, right? So me and Hippolyte went out and we ended up at the same hippie place as the day before. And to add to the movie-like feeling, we didn't even have to stand in line because he, of course, knew the owners. And we were dancing and drinking and we had a blast. The night ended as the night before. We took a cab back to his place, and I would have never imagined this night to be even close to the night before. But oh, was I wrong. As I walked up to his apartment once again, he said, You know, if you lived here in Paris, you could be my girlfriend. I just laughed.
Whoa.
Yeah, he said that. I just laughed, but it was worth so much for me to hear that. Swedish living do not match up to the way the Parisians do it. But when you're on vacation, you have the opportunity to let loose and be yourself to the fullest and let some of the Swedish stiffness and politeness go. You can actually just let yourself loose and free. So when we got to his apartment, he said, You know what? Come with me. So he kept going down the corridor. Oh my God. No, we had a shower. He had a shower closet.
I know.
Yeah.
They're taking a shower in the closet.
No, they're going to no, he didn't have a corridor in his apartment. It was only a room and a shower closet. They're going past his door.
Where are they going?
No, you're gonna have to
Oh,
hear.
no, not the rooftop.
Let's listen to this.
Oh.
So he kept it going. He kept going down the corridor and up to the window at the end. Okay, I need to collect myself. This is important. This is the most romantic one.
Okay.
And up to the window at the end. He opened the window, and outside they were doing renovation. So there was scaffolding up against the walls of the house. We climbed out the window and out on the scaffolding, and we climbed all the way up to the roof. It was a starlit night, and we could see all the way to the Arc de Triomphe.
No.
He had his camera with him, and I actually got a picture of me on the roof under the stars with the Arc de Triomphe like a backdrop.
No.
We spent the night up there having sex under the stars in the middle of Paris.
I can't do it.
Just like the movies. He was studying in another town called Lyon, located outside of Paris, and he said, If you come back to Paris, I'm not at home. You can borrow my apartment. So of course I planned to visit him again. Because the next day, me and my sister were going back to Sweden. My poor sister who almost did not see me on this trip. And I started the plans to go back as soon as I got home again. But little did I know that in 2 weeks' time, I was going to meet my future husband on a festival in Stockholm. So that second Paris trip didn't actually happen. But what happens in Paris stays in Paris.
Oh my God.
This episode,
That's what you should
guys,
think about, Joanna, when you're wiping poop.
poopy butties when you are out fishing.
When you're out fishing.
Yeah. What about Hippolyte?
No, you can just
Hippolyte.
close your eyes and take yourself back to that time.
Yeah, to that rooftop
I'm not-
under the stars in the
I
middle.
can't handle
Okay,
it.
there's so many things that first and foremost, I would probably not follow him home. But if I did follow him home, I would probably the first night. Yeah, sure, that's fine.
When you
We're
say
inside,
follow home, I think you're like
like a little dog.
you're like following him.
I'm following him behind the corners, looking out. No, but if I actually did come with him home, the first night would be fine. The second night, I would probably come there and we would do the same thing. But when he said, let's go out on the scaffolding and climb up this workers' metal thingy, my safety belt was like, no, siree. You can have sex in the apartment. You don't have to be in. I mean, she is a good person who did those things. What stories she has?
I mean, it would not have been a great story if
No.
this had happened to you.
No,
Let's be
no, it
honest.
would not
have been.
It would have ended at the pepper spray, rape, whistle, glow sticks. Oh my God! I would not have followed those bar guys either anywhere. I would be like, no, I'm with my sister. Bye, yeah.
I probably would have.
No, you probably would.
Would have done
I don't
all
know.
of it.
I know. I don't know. I don't know me. I've had one night stands, but there's always something I know about the person that it's happening with. I know, like we have. I want to
I've
be
never
safe.
had one night stands.
Ooh, I had like one or two nightstands. 2 nightstands. I have 2 nightstands.
She
One
has
on
2
the
nights.
each side of the bed. No, but I uppity. I mean, it's a dangerous world out there.
When was this? 2012.
2012, yes.
It was a safer place.
Was it? I don't. So I loved it. I loved to be in the story, even though it wasn't me who did it. But I mean, if someone is that good looking, they can't be a serial killer, right?
Oh, please,
Ted
Lotta.
Bundy, that weird guy that was in
That
Wisconsin.
one guy, those all guys.
Yeah, they're often not ugly.
No.
No.
But I mean, sometimes you gotta risk it.
Yeah, you gotta risk it. You gotta live a little.
You don't.
Can you be quiet? Okay.
You can't think the worst of everyone. Sometimes a real hot guy is just a real hot guy.
Yeah,
who you're gonna
sometimes-
have real good sex with.
Oh,
That's it.
That's true.
But I would have been like a baya when he said you could be my girlfriend if you lived in Paris.
But you were there.
Yeah.
You know that you're not gonna be his girlfriend.
And I would be like, you spoiled this for me now.
No, but he said it in the girlfriend.
And why did he have such a...
He's a French
both-
accent. I am very bad at this, and I'm
No, you're great.
the French accent. I talk like this.
Yeah, but it was so light. His voice was so light.
Yeah, because I can only do a French accent if I... Can you be quiet? I'm so sad. You're so stupid. Why are you barking? I would not be scared if you said that about the girlfriend thing. I would not.
I'd be like, too far, man.
Too far, man.
Too far.
Well, that's... Wait, no. Because... yes, one time I dated an exchange student, and he started planning about when I come where he lived, where he came from, we could be, I could meet his family. Then I got scared, and that's just a warning to say that, okay, maybe this guy is not for you, But if you feel that way about this guy, you might have been like, yes, I want to be your French girlfriend or your Swedish girlfriend
No,
in
I
France.
just wanted his sex.
Well, you don't know what she was, in the ripe age, 28, where your like ovaries are tingling of wanting to have kids and wanting to get married and finding a partner,
Well, I've never been 28 and single.
Me neither.
So it's hard.
This is gonna be a very barky episode, but that's just how it is. Bark. Live with this, guys.
She's not talking about the dogs.
No, but you know.
No, I don't know.
No, but
all I know is that if a very handsome
She's
French
a
man
gorgeous.
gorgeous Frenchman took my hand and say, "Follow me," I would be like, "Hell yeah, I'm following you." But do you have a phone number? You have an address? I'm gonna give it to my sister.
What?
Yeah. So she knows where I'm at.
knows. I thought you were like being like you with Ralph. Oh, you want my sister? Oh, my sister? She's over there. Yes, I understand why you took my hand now. Yes.
Oh, you want me to take you to my sister?
But I'm sorry, my sister has a boyfriend home in Sweden, so no, it doesn't work out. I'm sorry.
Bye-bye.
Bye now. That's you. You're doing that, and I'm doing rape whistles. Yeah. Okay.
It's a miracle that we are married.
We're married. We're hitched. And everything is just smooth, you know? But
Is it?
I don't know.
Is
No,
it smooth?
Not everything is smooth. It's a little bit bumpy. Life is a bumpy ride, you know. But I like roller
Life
coasters.
is
So
a highway.
I'm gonna ride it all night long. You know what? Highway is very smooth. So
They are, unless you're in America.
or here at the winter time. In America, yes. In Florida, they're like velvet smooth.
Are they?
Yes, because they don't have the weather. The climate changes, like the cold, the warm, the cold, the warm. That's what makes it crack and potholes and stuff.
Maybe it's also a rich state.
Yes, it's also a rich state, but also because they don't have to pour in so much money into like the roads and stuff, because they hold like a very steady temperature year long, and that makes it good, because that's why we have to fix our roads in Sweden so often, because we have the change of the temperatures.
But we actually fix them.
Yeah, we do. But for example, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about up in Wisconsin, and
They glue them together.
yeah, they glue them together because they have the almost the same as Sweden. They have all the 4 seasons, so they get the same thing with the cracking and stuff.
I didn't know you knew so much about roads.
Well, I knew. I've been a road worker in my past life. Just so you know.
that is great.
Oh, we need to wrap this up. This
Wrap
is going to be
it
a
up.
long one, but what a different one this was. It was like birth, and there were love, and it was, you know, I liked it. It was not just the ha-ha moments, you know. It was life and death and love and
Passion.
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 And sex. And sex.
We love this sex.
All of the sex under the stars in Paris.
Send us your sex stories.
Oh, yeah, the embarrassing sex stories. Oh, I love those.
Oh my
I love
God.
those. Please. Okay, let's do
you
this.
have any to share?
No, but one time I made out with a guy who accidentally...
Was your brother?
Yes, my brother?
I
don't
know.
have a brother.
I know you don't have a brother.
You mean your brother? No, it was not your brother.
It wasn't an accident.
It was... No, he was not an accident. I made out with a guy, and he had very big nose holes.
You mean
nostrils? Nose holes. He had very big nostrils. So he got a little excited, I guess. So he breathed out. He took a
Exhale?
He exhaled very strongly, and a little bit of snot blew into my mouth. and that, my friends, was not a good thing.
And that's where we're ending this podcast.
That's
today.
where we're ending this. Yes, keep your snot in your nose.
Until
Till next time, keep the crazy coming. Oh, nice.
Thank you.
What a crazy two and crazy hey!
Crazy family.
You've been listening to My Crazy Family Tree. Follow us on Instagram, podmycrazyfamilytree, on YouTube, podmycrazyfamilytree, and on Patreon, My Crazy Family Tree. And don't forget to send in your stories to podmycrazyfamilytree@gmail.com.
Oh, you think that one is crazy? Let me tell you a story.